Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of the Daily Debate. In tonight's show, we will be focusing on the situation in Gaza. Now, Egypt has called for exercising the utmost self-restraint in light of the Iranian-Israeli escalation that took place over the last couple of days. We'll be focusing on this file tonight, but before we start doing that, let's check out a couple of the stories making the news today. And we'll start off with Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, who today met with the UN Senior Humanitarian and Reconstruction Coordinator for Gaza, Sigrid Kaag. The meeting tackled updates on the coordinator's efforts under the UN Security Council Resolution 2720 to facilitate, coordinate and monitor humanitarian aid entry into the besieged Strip. The top diplomat stressed on the need to remove obstacles that Israel is placing on aid entry into Gaza and to press for reopening all of its crossing points within the Palestinian enclave. And Egypt continued to provide humanitarian aid entry into the Gaza Strip through its Rafah border crossing and the Karam Abu Salem crossing on Monday. A source at the two border crossings said 235 aid trucks passed into Gaza through both crossings so far, including 20 trucks from Rafah. He added that 6 trucks carrying fuel entered through the Rafah crossing, including 4 gas trucks. Meanwhile, the Rafah crossing received 12 wounded Palestinians who will be admitted for treatment at Egyptian hospitals, along with 15 Palestinian attendees. These were a couple of the main stories making the news today, but now turning our attention to tonight's topic, let's check out this report regarding the Foreign Minister, Sameh Shoukry, holding talks with his American, Iranian and Israeli counterparts to try and de-escalate the situation between the Iranian and Israeli side, and we'll be right back. Egypt has expressed its deep concern about the Iranian-Israeli military escalation and demanded both sides to exercise the utmost restraint. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement that Egypt viewed the dangerous escalation unfolding in the Iranian-Israeli arena as a direct consequence of the warnings it has repeatedly issued regarding the perils of expanding conflict in the region. Cairo also confirmed that it maintains constant communication with all relevant parties to contain the situation, halt the escalation and prevent the region from descending into a perilous spiral of instability that threatens the interests of its people. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry conducted intensive diplomatic efforts through phone conversations with his counterparts from the United States, Iran and Israel, aiming to de-escalate increasing tensions in the Middle East. The phone discussions revolved around the launch of Iranian drones targeting Israeli sites, which began late Saturday in response to an Israeli strike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, escalating tensions amid the ongoing Israeli war on Gaza. In his calls with Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian and Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz, Shoukry emphasized the grave threat the military escalation poses to regional security and stability. Egypt's top diplomat urged his Iranian and Israeli counterparts to exercise maximum restraint and refrain from policies of mutual provocations that could further escalate tensions and instability. Shoukry also conveyed to both ministers Egypt's readiness to intensify its efforts in collaboration with its partners to defuse the current crisis. He stressed Egypt's firm stance in calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and facilitating the entry of humanitarian aid. Shoukry also underscored Egypt's rejection of any action aimed at displacing Palestinians from their lands, including military operations on the ground in the Palestinian city of Rafah. On the other hand, Shoukry's call with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also addressed the developments in the region, particularly concerning the launch of Iranian drones targeting Israeli targets. He briefed his American counterpart on the outcomes of Egypt's intensive communications with both the Iranian and Israeli sides, aimed at addressing the crisis and preventing it from spiraling out of control. He also emphasized Egypt's keenness on close coordination with the U.S. to contain the current crisis between Iran and Israel.